In this video, I'm going to be talking about responsive resize in Adobe XD, and this is going to be part of making your site a responsive website. Now, with Adobe XD, this is a really new feature. It was just added, I think, back in September of this year, so there's still some little bugs with it and little problems here and there. But essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate an existing page and then resize it with the responsive resize. So I'm going to select this artboard just by simply clicking the name of the artboard, Command C to copy it, Command V to paste it. So I have another version of my artboard. So this one will be my full screen, and this one will be, let's just do this as the half screen. Okay. So I'm going to select it, the entire artboard, simply by clicking the name. And there's this option over here that says responsive resize. And whenever I turn that on, it's now going to resize everything responsively. Now there are a few little caveats to that, and I'll talk about what that means in a second. But basically we can grab one of these handles, and as we make it smaller, everything sort of automatically adjusts. And you see these little pink or purple constraints that appear, these purple lines and boxes. We're going to talk about those more in a little bit, but basically that's showing you what this responsive resize is actually doing. So I'm going to make it about half the size. Okay, and there's some things that we need to fix, but largely what this did was it actually kind of understood what the different parts of our page are, and it dynamically resizes those. I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to turn the responsive resize off and show you what happens if you don't have that on. If you don't have responsive resize on, whenever I move this, it's simply going to crop in. Right? You can see the obvious difference right away. Now, another option might be that you select everything in the page and then resize it that way without the responsive resize being on. And what's going to happen is it's going to kind of try to keep things even, but in general it gets lost and it'll start cutting things off and not overlapping things. So again, with the whole artboard selected and responsive resize turned on, you should be able to do about 75% of your work for you using this. So in the next video, I'm going to get into the constraints a little bit more and how to manually adjust those, how to fix some problems. But in this video, we're just going to finish up by actually making this page. So I'm going to do this as a half size. And then I like to, at that point, take my landing page and paste it again and do a phone size. So what I like to do is to get an artboard, use a default phone size. I usually use iPhone 6, 7, 8 size. And I'm just going to overlay this so I have a general rule of thumb to go by. I'm grabbing back my original artboard and I'm going to shrink it to match that, and then I can simply delete that artboard. So here's where we at. We got our full screen one over here, which I've already built and looks great. Then we have our half screen over here, which needs to be adjusted, and then our even smaller screen, we'll call this our phone screen. This is really more of a quarter view, but phone is fine.